So last week, I asked you guys what your New Year's resolutions are.
Yes.
So, Adrian, you had yours. Tyler, you said get back to
Yep.
me in a week. So, do you have any?
More golf. More
Okay.
bad golf, probably. We're hoping for good, but it's going to be bad golf,
Hey, at
probably.
least you're getting out there.
Get on the course
Exactly.
more is the goal.
Hey, we're going to have bright, sunny, shiny days anytime.
Please, yep.
Yep.
California golf. We got it good.
I mean, cold,
Cold,
but it's doable.
Yeah.
Just bundle up.
yeah, back
Yep.
in New York, they're closing down. You won't see it for months.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I know. You don't see that open up until late April.
Yeah. Takes forever.
Probably. Yeah.
We got it
does
good
take
here.
forever.
We just complain about a little cold, but that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome to the Cover Cal High podcast. I'm your host, Jake Vanderbrook, alongside Tyler Flipson and Adrian Soriano, always
too.
looking at the camera.
Oh.
He had a little bit of trouble with that within the first 5 weeks. But
And we got it settled.
anyways, we're diving in the league play.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness, we had some great games. So we're going to start off with girls soccer. Starting off with San Lorenzo. They were able to snap a 4-game losing skid, beating Hayward 2-1. Pinole Valley getting the job done, beating Deanne's at 3-0. And then a big league matchup here between Los Gatos and Los Altos. And it's the Wildcats who remain unbeaten in league play in the Deanza division, winning 3-1.
Yeah, and then how about a little rivalry here between in boys soccer, Miramonte and Campolindo. I was there. It was a cold one, 5-0 in favor of Campolindo, really getting it done, showing the dominance. Then we go on over to Los Gatos in Santa Clara for more boys soccer, where Los Gatos gets the edge there, 3-1, and then more boys soccer on top of that between Hillsdale and Sequoia. A narrow margin there where Hillsdale was able to take down Sequoia 1-0.
All right, to girls basketball now. We covered this game. Evergreen Valley 55-50 over Christopher. Oakland Tech girls. I'm not going to say it because this was kind of expected. 87-7 over Fremont of Oakland. And then this is also somewhat expected for the most part. Midi over Valley Christian. But the score did kind of shock me. 84-26 without
Yeah.
McKenna.
Yeah, great statement win for those Monarchs. For the girls, Sue Phillips always doing an excellent
Yep.
job over there at Archbishop Midi. So that was the girls. Let's talk about the boys matchup. That was a great game. Midi on a buzzer beater.
That's
Isaac
right.
Turner.
That's
yes,
right.
sir. Chilling from the corner, nailing that long ball. 56-54 the final with Grayson Jalal dropping 24 points. And speaking of buzzer beaters, Acalanes had a buzzer beater beating Ignacio Valley 58-55, all thanks to Gavin Dodge, who's back in action. And California, a great non-league schedule. They kicked off league play last Friday, beating Amador Valley in Pleasanton 56-44.
Good for Cal, man. Good for Cal. Good for Coach Olmeyer.
Yep, he's doing a wonderful job over there. 16-2 on the season. They have a 5-game win streak. And let's stick with the East Bay League.
Sure.
Adrian, you had a wonderful week of shooting basketball.
tell me
You
about
had
it.
that Midi Valley Christian game, but you also had Dougherty Valley taking on San Ramon Valley.
Yeah, you know what? Jalen Stokes. Can I say it one more time? Jalen Stokes. I mean, he lived up to the hype. And during pregame, the student section was kind of talking a little bit of trash. And Jalen just looked at him and smiled like, uh-oh, this guy's about to have a big night. And he had a big night. He had 46 points.
Holy
40.
smokes.
46
He should have gave him the
points.
Stephen Curry night-night.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That would have been the case had they won. So
Sure.
this is I guess it's a big upset.
Yeah.
Unless you're from San Ramon Valley.
Yeah, this is a great win for San Ramon Valley. We talk about tournament play for them. I mean, they've had some tough losses with some of those tournaments that they played. Losing the Salesian, Reardon, Roosevelt. We talked a little bit about that last week. But ever since December 28th, they are on a roll.
Yep.
It's the Conley brothers that are doing an outstanding job. You know, Elliot Conley, who's been an awesome rim protector. You saw Thomas Conley in action. He
Yeah.
dropped 20 points. And then, whenever San Ramon Valley needs to make a big shot, you can rely on cool hand Luke Isaac. Excuse me, it's more of the hot hand of Luke Isaac, who was able to contribute a majority of his points in the second half. 19 points he finished up with. So this is a great win for San Ramon Valley. And, you know, for Dougherty Valley, when you mentioned Jalen Stokes dropping 46 points
Insane.
and they still lost, this game reminded me of the NCS D1 title game back in 2022 between Clayton Valley and Dougherty Valley. Ryan Beasley, who was running the point, who's now at USF in his sophomore year, he dropped 43 points that game.
Yeah.
And they still lost that game.
How many points did Dougherty Valley put up against SRV?
I think they had like, 60 something.
Wow.
I think.
So
he scored
Jalen
more than
Stokes had
half.
more
He scored more than half.
Okay, that's
of
what
the
I was
points.
getting at. He had
So
more
the
than
problem
half.
the problem was, down the stretch, they couldn't really hit anything except for Jalen, and Jalen had a big first quarter, right? He had like 16, and he was hot. And San Ramon Valley made adjustments in the second half, and they can shoot the long ball. Don't forget Mason Thomas too, right? Mason Thomas had a good game. He got a couple shots from beyond the arc.
Yeah, he will give you great minutes.
Yeah.
He's a sleeper. Everyone sleeps on that kid, but when he's on the floor, oh my gosh, it doesn't matter if he's gonna shoot the ball. He's a great facilitator. He's a very smart player.
Love that.
Yeah, and you know what, give credit to Coach Botin, man. He really coached up the boys on Friday, and that was the one concern I had, is how can they deal with Dougherty's size and how can they stop Jalen? Well, they couldn't stop Jalen, but it still worked in their favor because they were at home and they were really hitting the long ball, and no one else could really produce for Dougherty. Right. It was kind of spotty, and in the end, they had a shot in the end, and I think a little bit too much hero ball, in my opinion.
I was going to ask you, do you think for Dougherty, is it a matter of finding someone else other than Jalen to spread the ball to score, or is it more of defense too, not allowing so many points? I mean, a mix of both, I would say.
I guess it's a mix of both, right? I mean, obviously you cannot let anyone, your opposition, really get hot from deep, right? But also Jalen needs help, right? And I know they're a talented bunch of kids, right? But it cannot just be Jalen every single night.
I know.
Right? He had 46 and they still lost, right? Usually, if somebody scores 46 or even 40 plus,
You think
that
it's
team's
a dub.
gonna win.
Yeah.
You
Right, exactly.
think it's a dub.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
it's kind of like Gilbert Arenas' kid in state last season.
Oh, my
The guy had
gosh,
like
yes.
48 points, and they still lost in state, right? So, gotta have someone else that can really get buckets.
Need some
besides
support.
Jalen.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep. So San Ramon Valley opening up league play with a nice win on their home floor. Next up for those Wolves,
De La Salle.
they're at De La Salle in
And,
Concord.
and very quickly, I think playing it at San Ramon was definitely an advantage. If it was played at Dougherty on Friday, then I think it would have been a different game.
How's the SRV sixth man? They
Oh
show
my
up?
goodness, they were so. I think one guy kept looking at me, but I wasn't recording. It was like he was like kind of clapping, like when he was looking at me, and I think Coach Becker's, assuming it's his wife, and she was like, "Hey, I think that was for you." I'm like, "Well, I'm not recording, man. You gotta let me know.
Here's
You gotta
a
let me know so I can get on camera."
Yeah, let's get a PSA to all the six-man groups out there.
Were the cheer wives there?
The cheer.
Well, the
wives,
Pomp team was
SRV
there. The
cheer
Pomp team was there.
Okay.
They did a good job entertaining the crowd. But man, that SRV 6 man.
I think I could speak for us as a team here at Cal High is that the six man's out there. If you guys want to get on the show, you got to
let me
bring
know,
the
man.
energy, all right? Not even let us know, but you got show us something, right?
Oh,
You
they
know,
were
it's
showing
easy
me
to get our
something.
attention.
They were alive from the start during pregame, and they
Yeah.
were talking
Yep.
trash.
I'll be on the baseline, and if I see enough energy, I'll be watching. I'll point that camera towards them, or I'll go
There
over
you
there
go.
between quarters.
There you go.
So, but show us what you got, all right? And you
Yep.
can end up on the show. Bring us some
Yep.
energy.
Yeah, no. Salesian brought the energy.
Ooh.
There we go.
Last week I covered them. It was our Crumble Cookies game of the week. Not only that, though, it was the 23rd annual Rock game, and it's always this big rivalry match between St. Mary's and Salesian. Now I'm thinking going into this game, well, maybe Salesian just pulls away, and and it's just not even a close game. I was completely wrong.
You're never wrong.
St. Mary's Salesian, that was a very physical game from the very start. And at one point, Salesian was only up by 2 points at the half. St. Mary's, they are a scrappy team. They are very physical, and they will compete.
All right.
They will compete. And not only that, when you look at St. Mary's, you also have to look at Albany. The Tri-County Rock
you were
Division
texting me about
is,
that.
yeah. St. Mary's also lost to Albany Friday.
Some competition up in there.
The Tri-County Rock Division, don't sleep on that league. Because, we talk about the East Bay and the Diablo League for the NCS. But, the Tri-County, they're making some noise. They really are. So with Salesian, this was a great win for them. We talk about, yes, they were only up by 2 at the half. But when you have one of the best coaches out there who knows how to make second half adjustments in Bill Mellis, you kind of had to expect that from Salesian to pull away. Elias Obenya, 15 points. Leon Poe III,
Leo Poe,
the son of NBA champion Leon Poe, who played with the Boston Celtics.
That's right.
He contributed with 11 points, and he was one of the reasons why Salesian pulled away to begin with. So he provided great minutes in the second half, and that was really the difference maker. Not only that, St. Mary's, they just couldn't get shots off in the second half. They just weren't falling. But this is a great learning experience for St. Mary's, as they prepare to dive more into league play down the stretch, I should say. And so St. Mary's, they're a very good team, though. Yes, they've struggled. They've lost a couple games, but they still have a very physical team. They got a lot of height in CJ Balltrip. They got Donovan Michael, who's only a 6'6" sophomore. He's a sophomore, ladies and gentlemen.
He's 6'6"?
He's 6'6".
Oh, my God. He's going to grow. He's going to
Just
grow
a
even more.
sophomore.
That's insane.
Wow.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have been a backup if I had that as a sophomore in high school.
Oh, my God.
No backup jokes for you if I was 6'6".
Oh, my goodness.
Well, you know what? St. Mary's will go deep in the playoffs this year.
Well,
They
I was
will.
going to say, and I like those scrappy bunches, man. I love those kind of teams that have that. What I also want to say on that note of that matchup, too, is I love seeing Salesian carrying over the same style of play as last season, too, where it's just even across the board. It seems like there's no standalone guy for that team. It seems like everyone gets a piece of the dip,
I mean,
you know?
they have what? Obenya was back. I mean, who did they lose from last year?
Clater,
Clater.
DeAndre Petit.
Okay, so those two big guys.
Those
but,
are two big guys.
Yeah, but they have almost the same team from last year.
Right.
Plus Leon Poe III.
They lost a good guy off the bench. I'm pretty sure it was, I think it's Amani Johnson that they
Amani
lost.
Johnson. I think
That
he was
sounds
gone.
familiar,
But
yeah.
still, pretty much almost the same team as last year. So you can really, it's really easy to really just continue the offensive stuff and all that.
Well, watch out for that Rock League.
Yeah.
No joke.
And I was going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if one of these three teams, either St. Mary's or Albany, watch them get a spot in like the D1 or D2 bracket,
And won't be surprised.
and they can pull an upset or two and make a run.
That'd be
I can
fun.
see
Absolutely.
it. We've seen a lot of crazy things with these basketball brackets and the way the CIF
Exactly.
aligns them. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened for either St. Mary's or Albany.
I'm
Those
here
are
for it.
two really good programs, and they're turning it around. And next thing you know, the Tri-County Rock,
yeah,
we got some noise.
absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm here for it.
We got some noise. And we also got some noise in the Diablo League. Let's
Yes,
talk a little
we
bit about
do.
that. So going into this week, 5 teams remain unbeaten. I mean, league play just started last week, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, there are 5 teams that are unbeaten. It's a huge league, by the way.
Yeah.
Huge league. They don't split it up like they did a few years ago. It's all one.
Oh, so they don't split anymore.
No, they don't split it
Oh
anymore.
my goodness. Okay, so,
So
now,
Las Lomas, Campo Lindo, Acalanes, Northgate. Acalanes and Northgate will be playing on Wednesday.
Wednesday night.
And Clayton Valley. And Acalanes Northgate is our crumble cookies game of the week. Tyler Flipson will be there.
I think a wise man once said you can rumble for the crumble. I think that's how you
well,
say it.
this is
something
a
like
big
that.
rumble for the crumble.
This
Big
is a
one.
big rumble. I mean, Acalanes, they're getting hot now. I mean, once you have Gavin Dodge back in the mix and everything, the balance and the offensive flow, everyone's contributing, everyone's putting out great minutes.
Yeah.
Acalanes is a very talented team,
And I think
and
that
they're dangerous.
absolutely, and that's a home game for them.
Nope, it's on the road.
It's at Northgate.
I believe it's at
Oh, it's at
Northgate.
Northgate. I thought it was at.
I was under the
yeah, it
impression-
is at Northgate. It is at Northgate. Yeah.
Okay, I stand corrected. Never mind.
So, what's the one thing would you say that stands out about Northgate for you?
It's hard to say. I mean, again, I this is another
time covering
team.
this team.
I know this is the first time I'm covering this team this season.
Yep.
And I don't think I got to cover them last season. I know a lot more about Acalanes than I do Northgate. So I'm excited to see this team for the first time and see what they have, what they bring to the table. A big difference maker is that this game's at Northgate, allegedly. We have to. I'll
have to confirm.
I'll double check that.
Yeah.
Because I thought this game was at Acalanes, and I thought that was going to be huge. Because talking about 6-man,
Yeah, the
Acalanes
difference
6-man,
right there, right?
the Blue
The-
Crew, I think they go by, the Don's Blue Crew, something like that.
Yep.
They are legit.
So that's
so
the
if that game's at Northgate, I think that's a big edge for those Broncos for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see that Northgate team.
Yeah, you know, and it's like, you know, the past couple of years, you know, we haven't seen Northgate, you know, they haven't had the seasons as they wanted.
Well, you know,
I mean, this was, you go back to the 2021-22 season, Northgate was in the mix with Campolindo, Miramonte, and Clayton Valley. I mean, they were always in that mix at the time, and, you know, they took a bit of a step back. But now it looks like they're back into the flow of things.
Yeah.
You know, this is the Northgate team that we know, and obviously there's new faces compared to 2021
exactly.
because kids graduated.
You would
and
hope
all
so.
that
You
stuff.
hope there's
would
new
hope,
faces.
right?
We don't want to see the same
would
faces
hope.
from 2021.
But Northgate, I mean, this is a team that is led by David Harris. He's averaging just under 17 points a game. And Grayson Boussaid, also a senior, 14 points a game.
Wow.
So, I mean,
Dynamic duo there.
yeah, when you have senior leadership and you got a great dynamic duo, as you mentioned, you know, I think, Northgate's going to make some noise. I think this game's going to be really close.
Absolutely.
This is going to be a great crumble game, Tyler.
I'm all for it. I'm looking forward to it. I don't think I've had a super close one yet, so I'm excited. I'm
You had
excited to see it.
blowouts last week.
What's that?
You had blowouts last week. man.
Yeah, my games personally are blowouts, but I was thinking about crumbles or Chick-fil-A's. I haven't had a close one.
Wasn't your Amador Valley Mount Eden game close?
For a little bit.
Wait, when? Which time?
When we
Basketball.
Yeah,
Boys hoops.
Did you,
Oh, you're
yeah.
right. I'm sorry. It was. You're right. For a little while. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Kinda
did.
pulled away.
You're right. Then they pulled away. I'm sorry. I did forget
No,
about that
all
one.
good.
But yeah.
Can't
You're-
forget
But
about
yeah,
the
he had no
Kruger
blowouts
brothers.
last
Of course. Yes. Those
I mean,
Kruger
he
guys.
had blowouts last week though.
Yeah.
Piedmont. I mean, well, I didn't
Yeah.
see that
Yeah.
coming.
Your memory with games always impresses me, whether they're your games or not. It's always impressive. Like, I'll bring up a game, and you're like, oh, yeah, that was in, let's see, the 2022 season, week 14, at so-and-so. It always blows me away. You have good memory.
You can arguably make a case that this is probably the best lineup of games that we have on our schedule.
Yeah.
Well, at
this
least
week.
on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Well, which is tomorrow.
Right.
But
But I'm
Yeah.
just talking about for the week.
Yeah.
In general, I
mean,
noticed that.
Boys soccer,
and there's games that we're not even
basketball,
covering.
girls soccer.
There's
yeah,
games
like
we're not even covering.
Albany
right?
Salesian.
Albany Salesian, we're
That
not
could
going
be
to
a
cover
great
that game.
game.
Sam
We're not.
Rockledge,
We're
just
not
talking about.
covering. Was it you told me last night? Was it Acalanes?
It's
and
Clayton Valley,
Clayton Valley,
Acalanes
boys soccer. We're not even covering, right?
nor Clayton Valley Campolindo boys soccer.
Exactly. So it's just tough. Can't shoot them all. Can't cover them all.
But
But
we've said it before in other episodes. Our eyes are always on it. Whether
Oh,
we're
you
there or
know,
not, we're watching.
You know
we got
me,
eyes
man.
everywhere.
Hey, you know me, man. I'll have game night on Friday in San Leandro. I'm still gonna be watching, man. Somehow. You know me. Comes to these polls and all that stuff. It's my responsibility. So
Yeah.
I got to do it. I may even go camping on this weekend. I'll still watch.
Don't go
Oh,
there.
there we go,
Yeah,
yeah.
Don't go there.
All right, moving on.
Yep.
Moving on.
Yep. It is your responsibility,
That's right.
Adrian, to do the polls, and it's also your responsibility this week to cover the Bruce-Mahoney game.
Another big one.
Yeah,
And
this
it's
is a
at
big
the
one.
Chase
It is
Center.
At the Chase Center.
All right.
Just got information on the craziness that's gonna be the Bruce-Mahoney game tomorrow night. So, thank you again to SE Cathedral for, really letting us know and all this stuff. This can get very crazy real fast.
We love the Bruce-Mahoney
Right.
games.
And
They're always great.
And it's at the Chase Center.
Yeah.
Right? This is
Even bigger
they
scale.
did it at
This
USF last
is
year.
awesome. I mean, during baseball season, don't they play at Oracle?
Oracle.
Now
They
they get-
do. Yeah.
Now they get to play at
the Chase Center.
Chase.
Well, it just makes the game even bigger. It's already big as is, right?
Yeah.
And to put it on a bigger stage for them.
Yeah.
And you know, for me personally, it's like, man, why isn't the Bruce-Mahoney at the Chase Center last year? Right, I get it, like the logistics
They
and all
played
stuff,
at
but
USF.
they played at USF, which
Yeah.
is still, you know, it's a
Cool.
D1 program,
Yeah.
right? But
Gorgeous
still, you know,
arena.
just at the Chase Center, it's right there.
Yeah.
You know, but again, the logistics and all that stuff. So anyway, moving on. This is a big game.
It
At
is.
least for the girls' game first. The girls go first.
Okay.
So if SI girls win, the boys' game doesn't matter because SI won in football and in girls volleyball, which we covered on the show,
Right.
not the football game.
Yep.
If SI girls win, it's essentially over. And I think this is going to be a very good game. Sacred Heart Cathedral is a really, really good program. They're
They're 11-1.
They're 11-1.
Wow.
SI
no idea.
always had a good program. They stayed with Midi last Saturday. I think they only lost by 15, which is still very impressive, right? Considering, you know, what Midi has, even without McKenna, right? They still have great talent on that team, and not to mention the legendary coach, Sue Phillips. They did a pretty good job playing Midi on Saturday.
With St. Ignatius, the one thing that draws my attention is they can knock down shot after shot from beyond the arc. And you look at Kira Madrid, you look at Lulu Giametti, and you covered St. Ignatius.
I did cover them against
Salesian out
Salesian.
in Richmond. So St. Ignatius, they can knock down the long ball.
Yeah.
And they shoot with so much confidence. They're not afraid to pull the trigger from beyond the arc. And it's balanced.
Yeah.
It's balanced.
There's
They give each other opportunities to find open looks.
And defensively, they're a pretty good team defensively too, right? So that's the key for Sacred Heart Cathedral. I mean, we haven't covered them this year, but I know they always have good programs.
Yep.
You know, can they really break through SI's defense?
Yeah.
That's the key for the girls' game. I mean, listen, throw all the records. I don't care if Sacred Heart Cathedral came into this game 0-20. I don't care. When it comes to a rivalry game like this, throw the records out the window. Throw all your game plans out the window. Who wants it most? And especially for Sacred Heart girls, they have to win this game so the series moves on to the boys' game later that night. So the boys at least has a shot to extend the series to the spring. So big game for the girls.
Yeah.
Then the boys, right? We know St. Ignatius, good programs. Sacred Heart Cathedral, you know, they can pull a shocker, and they did
could.
that a couple years ago.
And the thing is that what I love about the Bruce-Mahoney games across all sports for them is that how big it is for them. You think they're playing for state. You think this is like a
Exactly.
state title, and that's what I love so much about covering these games, having the opportunity in the past to see them, is these kids and coaches are going all out like it's a state title game.
I mean, just the volleyball game at USF, it was packed.
Yeah.
You think it's a state volleyball game.
It's
Right.
cool.
It
It's
is
a cool
so
thing.
packed. I
It's
mean,
a cool
the
tradition.
students really get into it, and that's the most beautiful thing in my opinion about high school sports is, you know, just the student section. They really get into it. They really get emotional. They get passionate. You know, they keep it, you know, friendly. Keep it friendly, but very, very passionate. Which
And
is
what you love about a rivalry game is that the records don't matter.
exactly. Throw it out. Throw it
It's
out the window.
Us versus them. That's the mentality that you're entering the game with. I mean, like, I don't want to compare high school sports to college football, but like the records don't matter because like you look at the game with Michigan, Ohio State.
Yep.
I mean, Michigan only had like 6 wins on the year.
And they still beat Ohio State.
And they still beat Ohio
Yep,
State.
exactly.
There's so much meaning to a rivalry game
Yep.
like that. And the
Couldn't agree more.
Bruce-Mahoney is
No different. It's no different.
an amazing opportunity
Yeah.
you know, for St. Ignatius to win it all this year.
Yeah, so they got 2 shots. SI's got 2 shots.
And if Sacred Heart Cathedral wins both the
Then
boys
we
and
go
the
to
girls
the baseball game. We go to the baseball game in the spring. I mean, we're assuming if it does get to that baseball game, we're assuming it's probably going to be at Oracle Park again, which
Yep.
I guarantee you, if it is at Oracle and it is the deciding game, I will be there. I'm
really
calling it right now.
Really quick, we didn't talk about the players for the Fighting Irish. I mean, they have a senior named Anaya Versosa. She's had a wonderful season. She had a a great December. She was named first team all tournament in the Mullen Showcase, the Paris Twins Classic, and if I recall correctly, she had a huge game-winning bucket. I believe it was against Cardinal Newman, who was the defending NCS
D1
Open
champions.
Division.
It's a
Open
big
Division
win.
champs.
Open Division.
Salesian won the D1.
Yep. So again, hey, I'm telling you, Sacred Cathedral, man, very, very good girls program.
All right, well, you'll be there.
I will be there.
We'll get the coverage.
Tomorrow night. Well, if you're watching it on Monday, so but I'm excited, very, very excited
All
to
right.
cover these.
And
games.
it's possible with this game where we could see some major changes in the poll.
Oh, absolutely. We will have more major changes.
So let's get right to the poll.
All right. To girls
On that
poll.
note,
On that note. Well, okay. Well, Midi is still number 1. They beat Valley Christian, respectfully, and St. Ignatius. Carondelet still number 2. They only had 1 game. They beat Monte Vista of Danville.
Okay.
Pinewood number 3. They beat University, and this is a shocker for me. Not only did they have to travel to Salesian, they beat Salesian by like 40 points. This is very,
Numbers.
very, very
Numbers,
surprising.
baby.
They have a big game.
They have
League play
another big
coming
game.
up against
And-
Priory.
Priory,
Yeah,
and we
and
will
I'll
get to
be-
Priory in just a second.
I'll be there.
Acalanes number 4. They beat Heritage, Berean Christian, and St. Mary's of
Nice run.
Stockton. No, I think, St. Mary's of Stockton, if I'm not mistaken. So, hey, Acalanes, that's the team you watch out for in the NCS.
Good run for
Besides-
Don.
Outside of Carondelet.
They could be a dangerous 2, a dangerous
I
3
think they're
seed.
right now. If the playoffs started this week, they would be the number 2 seed in the Open Division.
Yeah, I agree. I
Yep.
agree. I like
All right.
that.
All
And
right.
then Sacred Heart Cathedral number 5, right? They beat Reardon and St. Francis heading into the Bruce-Mahoney game tomorrow night. San Ramon Valley number 6 wins over Alameda and Dougherty Valley. Oakland Tech, 1 game only. They are at number 7. They beat Fremont. Piedmont is now in the poll at number 8. They continue to impress us, and they're in the poll.
They made a
beat-
statement
they
last
made
week
a
against
statement.
San Leandro.
Yes, they did.
And they beat California and Liberty. Right? California's a decent, like,
Yeah,
D1, D2
they're a
team,
solid
right?
program. Yeah, those are some great wins for Piedmont.
Exactly. St. Ignatius number 9 beat Valley Christian, and like we mentioned earlier, lost to Midi by 15 points, I believe. So, hey, still a respectable game for St. Ignatius. And Woodside Priory did not play last week, so they remain at number 10. Heading into the big game against Pinewood, and Tyler, you will be there tomorrow night.
I'm excited. I got to see Pinewood earlier this season against Los Gatos, where they dominated, and now against a Woodside Priory team that I have not seen yet. So
Yeah,
I'm
but
really
I think
excited.
they won the West Coast Jamboree Diamond division, which is like the second division before like Platinum or something.
Got it.
Yeah, so
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it because I mean, what always stands out to me is Pinewood's ability to move the ball exceptionally well. I mean, it's I think I said my script was it's motion, art in motion.
Yeah.
it really is. So it's a great
I
thing
think
to
you
watch.
said poetry. And
Poetry in motion. Thank
Oh,
you. Thank
wow.
you very
Jay,
much.
Jay.
See that memory again, guys. I'm telling you, that memory
I
is legit.
wouldn't even remember that.
It is. It's poetry in motion. Common saying that I still managed to screw up. With that being said, it's gonna be a great game. Really
Yeah,
looking forward
no,
to it.
And Priory
Tomorrow
actually
night.
requested this.
Did they?
Priory
it's
emailed
at
us.
Priory.
It is at Priory, and they requested us to come out to shoot this game, so we will be there.
Okay.
Well, Tyler will be there, and
Sure.
you know, can Pinewood continue with the threes? The threes.
Could you make a case, Adrian, for Valley Christian to be a bubble team in the poll?
Yes, there's still a bubble team.
Okay.
For girls,
Yep.
right? I mean, I just took out Salesian, but they're also a bubble team, right? Cardinal Newman, I say, is also a bubble team, right? Again, it's just first games in league, right?
Yeah.
So you know we're still kind of trying to sort out who are the pretenders and who are the contenders. So you know I think by next week we can really narrow down the bubble teams significantly,
Yeah.
especially in the boys basketball poll, which we will get to in just a moment.
What I do have to say about this poll too is I see Piedmont climbing this list. I
Yeah.
have no issue with them at 8
You
right
know-
now, but the way they played against San Leandro and I mean dominated, they'll find their way I think into that 5 spot in due time. I bet they'll be around there. I think.
I'm very surprised that Piedmont is playing really, really well. Not taking anything away from that program, right?
They
have a really good
that's
coach.
a great program, though.
It is, but last year, it was just Natalia Martinez, and again, just like Jalen Stokes on Friday,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was Natalia really doing all the scoring and all the stuff on the court, and you're really looking for that second and third option last season, and now you have, what they only lost one time, and heading in, they're playing Bishop O'Dowd.
That's a big game.
That's
That'll be
another
a
big game that we're covering. I think Nikon is covering that game.
And the thing is that they're well balanced through and through from what I saw, and on top of that, they cover the whole court. They could shoot, they can get to the rack. I mean, they got it all from the paint to outside the arc.
And this is a big test for Piedmont.
Yeah.
This tomorrow night against Bishop O'Dowd. So
It's nice to see Piedmont work as a team. I mean, you compare last season to this season. I mean, like you said, it was Natalia
exactly.
Martinez that had to carry the way for those Highlanders. And now this year, it's pretty balanced,
Exactly.
if you ask me.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I see them climbing the ranks. I could see that in coming weeks if they keep the trend that they have so far. I could see that happening.
All right. Well, should we get to the boys' poll?
Yeah,
I think while we're at it,
All right. Well, Reardon is still our #1 team, man. Surprise, surprise. Beat Sacred Heart Cathedral and Bellarmine. Bellarmine.
Was that an Al Michaels reference
Yes,
that you made there
that is an
3
Al
years
Michaels
ago?
reference. Yes,
Sunday
right.
Night Football.
Bellarmine.
Al Michaels said Bellarmine.
Oh, did he?
He did.
He did on
Why did
Sunday
he
Night
bring up Bellarmine
Football.
on broadcast?
So it was the Niners had a Sunday night game against the Indianapolis Colts.
Yep.
And then that Friday, St. Francis and Bellarmine played. And that's a big football rivalry of the Holy War.
And they
And-
show the
And then
highlights.
and he said Bellarmine.
clips.
Yep.
That's
Oh,
funny.
come on.
I never knew that. I
Well,
learned
there you
something.
go.
It's like
there
with
you go.
it's like with the Cowboys Niners Sunday night game this year. They showed highlights of Monte Vista and De La Salle that Friday
That's right.
night.
Yeah.
You're right.
So,
Got
anyway, moving on. #2, De La Salle. They won last week. Oh, I forgot who they beat. I
The
put
De La Salle defeated De La Salle according to your notes.
Wow, I kind of did the polls this
That's
morning.
shooting themselves in the foot.
But no, De La Salle. I think they
How's that
won.
happen?
So, but hey, they're Alec Blair, right?
Rising up.
Yeah, mistake, guys. Mistakes happen.
I'm
This
very
scene.
excited for that game against SRV.
Yeah, we love it. De La
Hey,
SRV
you'll
is
be
always
there.
great.
Wait, who's gonna be? I think
I'm
right?
at that game.
All right, there you go. Huh? They beat Monte
De La
Vista. Thank you,
Salle.
Nikon. They beat Monte Vista.
Mr. Producer
Not
Man.
De La Salle. They beat Monte Vista. #3, Salesian beat St. Mary's, and they beat Curie of Chicago, Illinois. So Curie of Chicago, Illinois traveled here. So yeah, must have been a good team,
Whoa.
right?
Yeah, I
Saint-
think that was only like a 2-point win for
2 point.
those.
I think they went to overtime too.
Whoa.
I think.
Whoa. One more time.
Whoa. St. Ignatius #4. They beat Sarah and Valley Christian. #5, Oakland Tech beat Freedom, but they lost to Western Ranch. So that's a flip right there. Tech was #4
Yep.
last week, and so they go down to #5. SI was #5. They move up to #4. #6, Midi beat Valley Christian and Sarah. There's a reason why I cannot put Midi over Tech, is because Tech beat Midi.
I'm shocked.
Can't
with
do
That's a
that.
seven.
very young midi team, by the way.
Very young, very young Midi team. But hey, you know what? Tim Kennedy, man, always does his magic on that team. So, just the second half adjustments against Valley.
7 is a shocker to me.
No, for who? Midi?
No, you're #7 in your poll. You're about to say.
Oh,
right
Dublin.
now.
Well, Dublin is my #7 team
Yeah.
because Dougherty. Well, originally I think it was gonna be Dougherty, and they lost to San Ramon.
You gotta understand they had a great non-league.
Yeah,
schedule.
Dublin had
No,
a
they
great
did.
non-league
They
too.
did.
Right? Beat Livermore. Wow, I'm making mistakes all over the place. Beat Livermore and Freedom. Dublin did.
Yep.
Moreau jumps up to #8 now because Sarah lost, Valley Christian lost. They all drop out of the poll. Moreau #8. They defeated Mission, San Jose, and Washington. By the way, that was a very high-scoring game.
Washington
In
Fremont.
Washington and Moreau. Considering like high school basketball, It was like 81-75. It's a high-scoring game.
Washington's got it.
Washington's a good team.
You're talking about Washington Fremont, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they got a good team.
Washington's a good team.
They had a good team last
right?
year. Yeah.
Again, such a shame that they're in the same league as Moreau Catholic, and Moreau's like the best team.
Yeah, that Kellen Hampton kid, man, he can ball.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
That's
He's
fun.
a good ball player, right? San Ramon Valley is in our poll at number 9,
As they should.
as they should. They defeated Head Royce and Dougherty heading into the matchup against De La Salle. And at number 10, Liberty, who defeated Freedom, Weston Ranch, and Edison.
There you
That's
go.
the poll.
Wow, they defeated West.
Liberty's a good team too, man. We're sleeping on Liberty. But again,
John
their
Hines
league
is still coaching over there.
Yes, he is.
And he's done a
it's just-
remarkable job.
It's just, again, who in their league can really compete with Liberty? Maybe Heritage, but
Maybe Heritage, yeah.
Pitt's kind of on a down season.
Yeah, they lost
so.
a lot of seniors last year because last year it was just Liberty and Pitt.
Pitt.
I shot both Crumble and I shot both Chick-fil-A, and both of those games
Went down to the
were
wire.
amazing.
Yeah, so
were amazing.
Jamar Cersei's on that team. I
Jamar
think.
Sister is on the basketball team.
So he might have something to say about you
For
saying
Pitt.
they're on the downtrend.
For
varsity?
oh yeah, for Pitt, yeah.
Last year. Okay.
I'm pretty sure he is.
Yeah, he's on the team.
I think I've seen
Yeah,
his
he's on the
Instagram.
team. He's on the team.
His Instagram's posted.
He's
it
on
too.
the team. He's on the
Yeah.
team.
So
On the
you-
team.
he might come after you for that one.
So my
Hey, man.
question
Don't sleep on
is,
us.
Where's Cal? Are they a bubble team?
Listen,
deep in the
I've
bubble?
covered Cal, right? And again, we love Cal. We love Coach Steve Allmeyer. The Great Dane.
From one
Dane
Cal High
Wallace.
to another Cal High, you know?
Yeah, again, but I just gotta see a little bit more. Yes, they beat Amador Valley, but the real test is tomorrow night against Dublin, and we're not even covering the game, right?
So
we're not even
they have to
covering
be in the
game.
bubble then. If
Dublin-
they're-
Absolutely. Cal's in the bubble.
If
Cal's
I
in the
recall
bubble.
correctly, Dublin and Cal played in a tournament earlier this season, and Dublin went on to win that match.
Yeah, so here we go. Now it's for league, right? So now,
Right.
can they do it again? Can they do it again?
Every
Again, you
game
could
matters.
say something. Oh, it's early in the season. Everyone's trying to adjust. Everyone's trying to get the rotation set. Well, okay, now here we are in league play. Let's see what really happens. What adjustments they're gonna make against Dublin, and same thing for Dublin. What adjustments are they gonna make against Cal? But Cal is obviously still. I know I cannot get rid of the cough, man. But Cal is still in the bubble, and so is Acalanes is on the bubble. Acalanes is on the bubble.
Sounds like a plus size bubble.
Capolindo's on the bubble, right?
Yeah.
Dougherty is still on the bubble. I don't care if they lost on Friday. They're still in the bubble.
What about Campolindo?
Capolindo's on the bubble.
What about Northgate? And
Northgate's on the bubble.
And what about St. Mary's? And what about Albany?
I think Albany is more in the bubble. Well, obviously because they beat St. Mary's. Albany is definitely in the bubble, and so is St. Mary's. But I think Albany is
So
gonna.
with this big old bubble, I think all the games that we're covering this week.
How
or
big
not
can this
matter.
bubble
That's
be?
what I'm
It's a
saying.
big bubble.
So-
I think these games matter. We're saying how big
Exactly.
these games are, how exciting all these games are coming up this week. So
Yeah.
these games
And you know
will
what?
speak a lot
And
to
you
the
know
poll.
what? Don't let's not sleep on Oakland High. The
Oh, wait.
Oakland Wildcats
Oh,
are also
boy.
in the bubble now.
No
listen,
IO.
they're a good program.
OH.
But that's what I said like minutes ago. Hey, let's still early in league, right? Everyone is just beginning league play. Let's see what really happens after this week. I think the bubble will shrink down significantly, especially for the boys.
Yeah.
As long as we're
Right,
not bursting
especially
no
for the boys.
bubbles.
And Valley Christian, hey, I think it's a kind of a must-win for them. Valley
Yeah.
boys, right? They're still in the bubble for now.
Yeah.
Still in the bubble for now, but hey, they really need to win
Yeah.
a league game, or if they can win both of the league games this week, they're still in, and so is Sarah.
Yeah.
So-
They really took that tough loss.
And it's
on
a tough
Tuesday to
loss. It's a
Midi.
tough loss, right? But again,
Yeah.
no shame in losing to Midi.
Yeah. No.
And St. Ignatius. That's a really tough way to begin West Catholic League play.
Hey, it's a very tough league
It
for
is.
a reason,
It is.
right?
That's why I called it the Gauntlet.
All right.
As long as there's no World War III, that's all I care.
Okay, that's for the East Bay League.
Oh, okay. All right. Some great ones.
4,
right.
5, 6, and 7. My goodness, Adrian. All right, that's all the time we have for you. And I
right.
think it's safe to say you've been
Whoa.
covered.
You
Oh,
want more?
No, I'm good.
No, okay.
You've been
all right.
covered.
all right.